Sedas levels danced across the cracked, restless valley and the damp forgiving sun. For days, the only sound had been the wind whistling through the canyon. A lonely sonny de cometuna was my own. My name is Elara, and this patch of death, this humble homestead carved trans so wild, was everything to me. It was my father's legacy. Built with his sweat and sealed with his last breath. He always said, this land remembers, Elara. It remembers WHOS kind to it, and WHOS cruel, he intended to be kind. But kindness was a currency, and folks didn't trade in. They rode in Anna to see. For up them, their shadows lone and dark in the late afternoon light. They went neighbors dropping by for coffee. Their faces were green masks of dust and grit. Their eyes like chips of flint. So one in the lead, a man with a scar that twisted his smile into a permanent sneer. Dismounted, he called himself Headed Jack Kane, and his crew had wisps of a lone woman with a deed to the most promising land in the territory. My land, nice place you got here. Little lady, Kane drawled, his voice like gravel scraping rock. A bit much for one peasant to handle, don't you think? His men fend out, their hands having no better holsters, their hungry gazes devouring every inch of my home. They saw a woman alone. An easy target. They saw a prize for the taking. They didn't see the steel in my spine, forged in the same fire that baked this land. I stood on the porch. My father's old rifle resting easy in my arms. It was an extension of me, as familiar as my own name. It is just the right size for me, he said, my voice steady, betraying none of the frantic pounding in my chest. And I am not looking for partners or visitors, Kane chuckled, a dry, rattling sound. The taint enough, it's a statement. We'll be taking this land. You can live with your life, or you can live in a pine box. Your choice. He took a step forward. A predator closing in. That was his first mistake. He thought my result was just a bluff, a woman's fragile defiance. I didn't know that every nail in this house, every fence post, was a promise he made to my father. A promise to protect our home. I reckon you've made your choice, he said softly, the words barely carried on the wind. And you find this land has a memory of its own. In one smooth motion, he raised the rifle. The first shot cracked the silence, not aimed at Kane, but at the water barrel beside him. It exploded, showing him in what little precious water he had. It was a warning, a statement of my own. His men flinched, surprise flicking in their coldness. They drew their weapons. And they attended electric. He didn't wait. He ducked behind the porch column as a bullet splintered the wood where he had just been standing. This was my haunted. He knew every angel, every shadow, every loose floorboard. He moved from the porch to the side of the house, using the wood pile for cover. Another shot from my rifle sent one at the bandits scrambling, clutching a wounded arm. They were sloppy, arrogant. They expected fear, not a fight. They spread out, trying to flank me. One crept towards the barn, thinking he was clever. I didn't know about the tripwire he set by the hayloft. A little trick my father taught me for catching coyotes. A yelp, a crash, and a string up cases told me one was out of commission. To life plus Kane. The odds were getting better. The sun was sinking now, painting the sky in shades of orange and blood red. The fading light was my ally. It slipped into the darkness of the woodshed. My heart a drum against my ribs. I could hear Kane shouting orders, his frustration growing. Find her, she is just one woman. Just one woman. So words echoed in my head, fueling my fire. It was more than just one woman. He was the guardian of this homestead. He was the daughter of this land. He saw a shadow move near the well. He took a breath, held it, and squeezed the trigger. The shadow dropped. Now it was just me and Kane. He could hear him, circling the house, his heavy boots crunching on the gravel. He was hunting me now, trying to be quiet, but rage made him clumsy. He waited in the deep shadow of the porch, perfectly still. Around the corner, his pistol raised. His skin in the yard. A pest right me. Come on out, girlie, he hissed. Let's end this, I agree, he said from behind him. Spun around, he says white with shock. For a split second. Eso me, not as a victim, not as an easy mark, but as a spirit of displace, fierce and unyielding. Eso sent. My rifle spoke one steam, its voice echoed in through the quiet twilight. Silence fell, broken only by the chirping up crickets and the whisper of the wind. I stood there for a long moment as the first stars pricked the velvet sky. The dust settled. The shadows of the fallen lay low on the ground. This land was quiet again. It was safe. It was mine. My father was right. The land remembers. And tonight, it would remember that its daughter had kept her promise. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story from the Old West, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tales of grit and survival. We'll see you next time.